Hey guys! Today I have a really special art lesson for you that doesn't require a lot of materials, but it's kind of a fun way to use them in a different way. This is special to me because I used to do this when I was your age all the time, and also I used to do this, it was my favorite because I used to do this with my grandma all the time. It was our favorite thing to do together. So I wanted to share this way of creating with you so that maybe you would want to give it a try today. So for today's art lesson, you need some paper, a pencil, or crayons, and you need some paints, some water, and some paper towel. So today, instead of painting with a paintbrush, I'm actually going to use my finger, and my paints require me to get my finger wet first, so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to rub my finger on my paints. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just push down with my finger and make a fingerprint. And I'm going to switch colors. So I'm going to wipe off my finger, and then I'm going to get it a little wet, and I'm going to rub it in my paints, and I'm going to use that to make another fingerprint. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to add some details. I could use a crayon for this, but I also like using a pencil for it. And I'm just going to add some details, and I'm going to go ahead and make some insects and some other things using just my fingerprint. So for this part, I'm just pushing my finger straight down, and I'm just making a fingerprint with my finger. I'm not sliding my finger on the paper, I'm just pushing right down on the paper. And then each time I like to add my details using my pencil. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my finger wet again, and I'm going to actually, this time I'm going to drag my finger on the paper. So I'm sliding my finger up and down on the paper with the green to make grass. And I'm just going to keep adding some different kinds of insects. You could try to make something different with your artwork. Maybe you could figure out how to make people. There's so many options for painting with your finger and making details with your fingerprints and also with pencils or crayons. So right now I'm using the very tip of my finger to make tiny dots. So sometimes when you use your whole fingerprint and you push down, it makes a wider fingerprint, and if you use the very end of your finger, it makes those tiny dots. Okay, so here's what my artwork looked like when I was finished. Lots of fingerprints all over. Different ways to do it by using your whole fingerprint, sliding your finger, or using the very end of your finger to make your dots. And then, like I said, you could use a pencil or crayons. I wouldn't use a marker maybe because it might ruin the markers dragging it through wet paint. But hopefully you can try doing some fingerprint art today, and hopefully you have as much fun as I used to have when I was your age and when I used to do this with my grandma.